Just check the stream is working. And we should be live, which is great. So I hope you can hear me okay. Just double check that the stream is going. Yeah, and the stream is going alright. Hope you're all doing well, guys. I'm the FPL Penguin. Back again with another video for you all. And in today's video, I'll be doing my second draft, which is going to be very interesting and very fun. And this is what I'm probably 90% going for. 90%. Got straight away a comment from Amit, and what do I think about Saliba, the new signing, 19 years old for Arsenal. I don't know anything about him. I think this is Saliba we're talking about, any new viewers tuning in, and we'll have to see if he starts. He could be starting, he could be a new starter now. And I heard, can't remember his name, there's this other signing, they're about to sign from Lille for 22 million, Arsenal about to sign, who could pair up with Saliba, who knows, be the new centre-back partnership. So I don't know anything about this guy as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how Saliba will do at, or Saliba, how he pronounces his name. But I think we'll have to see how he does, only time will tell, but I'm sure he'll be better than David Luiz. And so we'll have to see. He's about, is he 4.5 or 5 million? I have no idea. But I'm not so sure how he'll get on, but we'll have to see, only time will tell. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, hope you're doing well. And so, as you can see here, this is my potential second draft. It's not changed as much. The only thing that's different about it is I've got Willian in. And the reason I got Willian in, I'm very intrigued to see how Arsenal set up for the new season. I'm very intrigued. 4.5 million Saliba. Thank you very much. Let me know. Thank you. Afternoon, mate. Hope you're well. Charlie, how you doing, mate? One Rovers Vlogs. How you doing, mate? Guys, go check out Charlie's channel, One Rovers Vlogs. Mr. Anderson, how you doing, mate? And everyone's here, everyone's tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is my second live stream draft. I just felt, just do it. Just do it, Penguin, just get straight into it. The only change, Willian, in at this moment. Been looking at SofaScore over here. Got Che Adams popped up over there. So we can talk about some players if you want. If you want to throw some players in, I can bring up the stats on the SofaScore. Have a little mess around on that. But I hope everyone's doing well. Will Che Adams start regularly for Southampton? So that's a question I'd like to know as well, because he basically got all his goals for his first season at Southampton in Project Restart. 4 goals, and he got them all in Project Restart. He got 4 assists last season as well, Mr. Adams. And you can see right there on the screen. 2.4% owned. He's a good alternative to Danny Ings, but I'd love Danny Ings. I was getting really stressed. I was up till about 2:30 last night thinking, I know we've still got another less than 3 weeks to go, but you really want to get into this and it's just really stressful, isn't it, guys? But I'm about 90% there, because this is the team I'd like to look at. This is the team. It's very stressful. I've got Ruben at the back, I've got Trent at the back, I've got Walker-Peters at the back. And do you think having double Southampton defence, like goalkeeper and defender, is a bit risky? Because if you think about it, you've got Palace away, you've got Spurs at home, Burnley away, West Brom at home. And to anyone who doesn't know, there's some more friendlies today as well, football friendlies. But there's friendlies. Hi Sean, how you doing? What's going on, Penguin? Doing well, mate. How are you? The friendlies that they're on yesterday. Spurs won 3-0 against Ipswich. Son got a brace. I think Ali got an assist, or he got 2 assists, Ali. That's a question as well. If maybe opt for Ali over Son, if I dare ask. But is he going to play? And also with Spurs, all those fixtures coming in with Europa League qualifications and etc. Blackpool played Everton, where it finished 3-3. Blackpool were leading 3-2. Goals from for Everton, DCL and 2 from Sigurdsson. One was a penalty and one was a free kick. And Everton had a first team out as well, so that's something. So it tempts you to get someone like Son, doesn't it? And especially not just Everton, they've got like the Southampton, they've got Newcastle as well. But I'm a bit iffy with Spurs because the Spurs, aren't they? So, but I wouldn't rule out. If I had to pick a Spurs attacker, I would go for Son. I think he's just so good. I think he's just, the speed, the everything about him. He's just so exciting to watch. Does Pereira take penalties? Who takes penalties for West Brom? Does anyone know? I know Pereira takes for West Brom takes free kicks and corners. He shares them with Matty Phillips, but I'm not too sure who takes the penalties. I would have to check who takes. If anyone knows, do let me know. But I'm sure it's just Pereira that takes free kicks and corners for West Brom. Double Chelsea attack. Arsenal attack seems a bit risky now. The Chelsea duo haven't even played yet. Maybe Son or Kane for Spurs. Good fixtures. The thing is with double Chelsea attack, I've got Werner in. I've got Ziyech in. It does seem risky. We probably need them to, give them a bit of time to adapt in the Premier League. Premier League is completely different to the Dutch league, and also quite different to the Bundesliga. And it's going to be interesting to see how these two get on next season, especially playing with each other. They've never played with each other as well, Werner and Ziyech. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Lama, how you doing, mate? Yeah, don't go for Spurs, mate. Stick to your gut, lad. Hope you're doing well, Lama. And yeah, Spurs just seem. I just feel like there's going to be like a troll in this. I just feel we're going to be trolled if we have a Spurs in there. Southampton away. Who is it next? Newcastle at home. Man United away. And then West Ham at home. It's going to be interesting to see how Spurs do. I've seen a lot of people as well want to talk about Mitrovic as well. I've seen a lot of people jumping on that Mitrovic bandwagon early. 6 million for Mitro. I'm still 50-50, and the guy's like 30% owned, isn't he? It's tempting there, but if you see the way Arsenal building that defence now, it puts me off a bit more. And just a bit, because Fulham do play Leeds United away from home in game week 2. Fair enough. Leeds still haven't re-signed Ben White, who was their top centre-back last season. Leeds beat Fulham last season at Ellen Road 3-0. Mitrovic played in that game. So it's going to be interesting. 30.6%. So last time I was in the Prem, 2018-2019, scored 11 goals and got 4 assists. It just depends. Does anyone actually think Mitro is going to do better this season compared to the last time he was in the Premier League? I mean, if you think the only person who's probably going to score for Fulham, they're not like goals everywhere, are they? I mean, Craney's not scoring as much. I know they've got some good wingers. You got Joe Bryant left back, but I don't trust their defence now. I mean, I feel like Arsenal, the way they are building, are going to have a field day against Fulham. I think they are. I think they really are, because just tell you some results now from Fulham last season. I'll bring them up actually. From Fulham last season, so you can get a good idea what their defence is like, to be honest with you. So you see on the left-hand side of the screen, see, these are pretty deep. Well, here, Fulham, 18th of July. Fulham 5, Sheffield Wednesday 3. Fair enough, they had a man sent off. But I'm just showing you, there was some others there as well. 15th of February, Fulham 0. Barnsley 3. Barnsley, who I think did they go down to League One or they just survived? I think they survived. I'm not too sure, but that was another one. So I'm talking about defence here. Fulham 0, Brentford 2. As well, Leeds 3, Fulham 0, and that red card was done at the end of the game after all the goals. So I'm just giving an example what to expect, and that's why I'm thinking of having Willian as well as Aubameyang in my team. You've got Fulham 1, Reading 2, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Fulham adapt once again back in the Premier League. I'm going to move the thing over here. Oh, they see it with the big microphone in the way. Oh my God, so many people. Will you change Ziyech to Pulisic once he is fit? I'd rather keep Ziyech. I think he's just so good. His stats are so good. And I know I mentioned already, he got 2 assists against his current club Chelsea last season in that 4-4 draw in the Champions League. I just think 8 million. I'm sure it was Jason on Elite FPL who said he liked his price. 8 million Ziyech. I was watching the Elite FPL the other night. Simon, are you going to bring in KDB for Uber, or will you wait and see how both players are getting on? I plan to bring in KDB, for Uber, for Aubameyang, probably game week 3, when they play. I don't know who they're playing now, but it's some. I don't know. They're playing somebody, but I'm a bit nervous about the Wolves game. You know what Wolves are like, they're defensive, and it's going to be an interesting game, that Wolves v Manchester City. So I might keep Aubameyang for game week 2. I'm hoping to bring in my Manchester United assets. God knows who I'm thinking of bringing in, because I think 10.5 million for Bruno Fernandes is just pushing it a bit now. Greenwood 7.5, Martial 9 million. The plan is, I don't really want to do that, because that's going to look. This is why this game is pushing you to do an early wildcard, and I'm trying not to get to that situation, because it's going to be so annoying if I got pushed to activate it so early. Because I'm trying to figure out a way to make a team, right, without using a wildcard until up to game week 16, probably use it game week 13, 14. And I'm trying to find a way to set my team out for game week 1, and then when game week 1's finished, to do a free transfer and bring in a Man United asset, an attacking Man United asset for a free transfer. I'm scratching my head. I don't know what on earth I'm going to be doing. Pereira never took penalties. No, I don't think he did, actually, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it was Robson Canoe. Or was it? I have no idea. I know it, but I know for sure Pereira takes corners and free kicks along with Marty Phillips, and that's why I think he's a bonus there. Because Pereira, guys, I know I keep hyping this guy up, but I feel he could make a difference. You know, he's that good with stats. I watched him in the Championship. He's compared to likes of Neymar. He's just so good. His vision and everything like that. Probably that West Brom team needs to build a bit more, get a better striker than Charlie Austin or Canoe. And I know Slayton, probably could be good enough for the Premier League, but I'd like to see them get another striker. I know they had Callum Robertson from Sheffield United last season. He's still at Sheffield United, so there's nothing happening there just yet. But I hope to see more transfers coming during the next 3 weeks. Over ownership or gut, though. That's the thing. I'd just rather go for my gut. If we're talking about Mitrovic, with that, what we were talking about, I'd rather go for my gut. I think a lot paid off. Because I remember last season, it was in Project Restart, and I don't know if a lot of you followed me when I typed this on Twitter or Instagram. Because I saw some news that I think it was against Brighton, Manchester City v Brighton, and I had KDB on my side, and there was some news that he could miss the game, Kevin De Bruyne, and he didn't. He he started the game, but he blanked, and I thought, I'm going to bring Sterling in, and everyone's like, Why are you doing that? And I brought him in for a hit, -4. I brought Sterling in for KDB and it paid off, and he got like 20 odd points or something like that. I think I captained him. I'm not too sure. I don't think I did. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that was a gut move, that bringing in Sterling for KDB, and KDB blanked as well. So I was kind of chuffed about that. Son of Maddison over Willian 100%. Yeah, the thing is, we just don't know with Willian. Is he going to start? Where is he going to start? If they play a 4-2-3-1, is he going? A lot of places I've been reading at, he's going to be playing probably a central attacking midfielder, a cam. So that's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see where he plays. It's really going to be interesting. It's a for 8 million. It's a bit of a move, because if he doesn't start, and then you're just annoyed then. So examples being that some FPL managers that finished in top 10 last season never had Salah and Mane. My God. See, I've seen a lot of teams. I think it was Jason again. I'm sure it was Jason from Elite FPL. He didn't have Salah in his team, I don't think. And I'm seeing a lot of teams with no Salah in it, and I'm thinking, that's a bit strange, isn't it? You know, he's not had like a price rise or anything like that this season. And, you know, I'm not downgrading Leeds United. I think they could do well if they build a bit more. But I feel with the likes of, they've not got Ben White in their team, who was their kind of rock at the back, and they still haven't re-signed him. He's still at Brighton. I just think, you know, we could really go at them. Liverpool played a friendly yesterday. They're playing a friendly again. They're playing them in Austria. They played Stuttgart yesterday. And I think Firmino, Keita and Brewster scored the goals for us. Firmino an assist. Curtis Jones, who I'm hyping up this guy, 4.5 million. He was very good in the match as well. So was our new left back as well, who we signed from Olympiacos. What do you think about Mitro and McBurney on a 3-week? I don't like McBurney. I think he's not great. He's not great, McBurney. No, I'm not going for Burney. Mitro 3-week punt. That sounds alright. If you want to go for that, because you've got the likes of who have they got? Fulham, Arsenal, Leeds, and Newcastle. Newcastle, is it? No, Aston Villa. They got Aston Villa. See, and we know Aston Villa not even built. You know, that defences, and they've got no Rayner, so they're still with Nyland. And Tom Heaton's returned to training, just to let everyone know, who's planning to have a 4 million at Nyland in the team. Priced Nyland. I think it's a good move, that. And if you look as well, I think overall, if you look from game weeks 1 to game week 9, I think why not take. It is possible. I'm just a bit 50-50 about him, because as I was saying in my last stream, the Championship is a different field game. It's competitive, but the Championship compared to the Premier League, playing much tougher defences, attack. You know, players that play in the Champions League. You know, just a lot of world-class players in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mitro for third time, because he played for Newcastle, how he adapts once again in the Premier League. Getting someone else using Pereira. I want to keep Pereira though. Is Wildcard in game week 2 a good decision? I'm not. No, it's as I was saying, it's pushing us. The Wildcard is pushing us. Seriously, it's pushing us to play it early, and I don't think it's great. I think we could use that at a very important time. We've got until game week 16, I think the 28th of December this season, to play it before we got our second one. So I don't want to do it. I want to know going up to game week 16, like when I'm in game week 10 or game week 14, I've still got a wild card. I think it would really frustrate me if I didn't. Pereira is my dark horse. Same. Pereira's just, people don't know how good he is, like I said, because he's just one of them players. If they built a bit more West Brom, if they built the team a bit more, then he'll play a lot more better. But I still think it's good enough. But I said, see what happens during the next 3 weeks. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you're new around here. Please like the video as well if you want to. Really appreciate it. Road to 600 subscribers. But guys, I really appreciate support. It means a lot, guys. Mitrovic for game week 2, Leeds away. Game week 3, Aston Villa at home seems worth a punt. If he flops, he can upgrade to Antonio at 0.5. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like I was mentioning about 2 minutes ago, something like that. It's a punt, and I think Mitrovic against Leeds away. Now there's no Ben White at the moment. If there's no Ben White, if they don't build that team properly, I think Leeds could really be hurt by other teams. I really do. I think by looking at it now, I think Arsenal is pushing it a bit. I think the way they're improving their defence a bit more, and the way they ended the season as well, I wouldn't have him for game week 1, but if you wanted Mitrovic, I'd have him for game weeks 2 and game week 3, if you want to go for that. I think Mitrovic takes penalties as well, I heard. Mitrovic does take penalties, letting everyone know. So that's a bonus as well. So if you want to take a punt, do go for it, guys. Do go for it. It's worth it. Do you think Antonio was a good play to start? Guys, 6.5. I'm just questioning if, because Haller's back now from injury, properly back from injury, and if they sign of a strike as well. But I think Antonio will continue to start. But I do think Antonio is still a good punt. Newcastle. Lascelles is currently injured still for Newcastle, but still got another 3 weeks. He could return. But Antonio's still a good shout. You know how good he was. You remember when he scored 4 goals against Norwich? I mean, okay, Newcastle seem a lot more defensively than Norwich in the last season. But, Antonio is a very, very good player. He's worth a punt there, but it's going to be interesting. Brewster, a good pick. He's 4.5. He's been linked a lot with some Premier League clubs. Loan-wise. I'd like him to join a Premier League club where he'll start, and that'd be the best bargain there is. He is that good. I know I keep saying these players are that good, but Brewster's that good. Like, I watched the Championship. He played for Swansea. He joined them halfway through, ran them halfway through, and he really adapted well. He really did. So it'd be interesting to see, a step up now. And I see a future of Liverpool, really do, at my club. I was watching him yesterday. It was an easy goal, what he scored against Stuttgart. It was basically an open goal, but he's very good. He's very fast. He's just got that energy in him, like Son. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if he does join and go out on loan again. I hope he does to a Premier League club. Then, if he does start as well, that's going to be a really, really good 4.5. I really do think that. Trying to keep up, guys. Trying to keep up. I hope we're doing well. And what formation are you playing if... change the screen. What formation are you playing if 3-5-2 is Bamford on the bench? If I go back to my team right here. Playing a 3-5-2. I've got Bamford, Braithwaite and Ferguson and Nyland on my bench. It's used all my money, guys, so there's none left in the bank. I do like the look of Bamford. You're probably going to laugh. You're probably thinking, why Bamford? Because, I don't know, there's something about Bamford. I was looking at his stats, and he's 5.5, and I feel, if we type him in here, there's something about Bamford that I really, really do like. I'm not saying he's going to have an amazing season, but I feel he could be a good differential. If you look on the right-hand side, he was basically their starter last season. He's their only striker in the team. 16 goals last season, 2 assists. An average of shots per game, nearly 3, so 2.8 per game. Scoring frequency every 216 minutes. So, I mean, if we look at some games like, if we look at Stoke, he scored against, I know Stoke haven't particularly got a good team at the minute, I know that. 3 shots on target, completely different field game. Like I'm talking about with Mitrovic, it's different field game. So, but he's 0.5 cheaper than Mitro, and I just feel Leeds attacking wise have a better team around. Bamford has a better team around him to help him score goals than Mitrovic, if I dare say. Mitrovic has scored, but a lot of them were penalties for Mitrovic last season. So it's going to be interesting. I would like Mitrovic for the Leeds and Villa game, but there's something about Bamford. It's, he really gets himself in the box a lot, and I do like Jack Harrison. I do talk about him a lot as well. He's 5.5. He's left winger. Leeds have just re-signed him again on loan for another season from Manchester City, and so he's another one as well because he does well as well. Jack Harrison. It just depends where I go with this team, but I'm just trying to fit in a Manchester United attacker. Not now, but to have enough money to bring one in for a free transfer. Should I start Bamford or Antonio in a 3-5-2? Start Antonio. In game week 1. I like how you address your comments. Thanks, though. Thanks, Javid. Thank you. Ben White has to start for your Brighton. Has to start for Brighton. If not, he's sold, right? I think he'll start. If Brighton manage to keep hold of him, and because it looks like they want to keep hold of him because they're rejecting all these bids from Leeds, and I feel they could keep him. You see the likes of Ben White, Dunk at the back. People talk about Lamptey. And also Veltman as well from Ajax. He can play centre-back or right-back. And it's going to be interesting to see how Brighton line up in the back 3, a back 4, back 5 next season. If you were going to use your wildcard after game week 12, will you take any point hits? Or are you planning to save transfer instead for 2 free transfers if needed? Ooh, if you're going to use your wildcard. Are you planning to save a transfer instead of for 2 free transfer needed? I don't know. It's one of them. Well, I want to use my wild card not early. I don't want to waste my wild card. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't want to waste my wild card early. I just think it's a stupid thing to do. I mean, it's not stupid, but it's a waste. It's a waste, shall we say? It's a waste of a move to use your wild card so early, and then you've not got it then, and everyone else has got like an advantage on you until game week 16 because they can then use their wild card, and then because I imagine a lot of people using their wild card game weeks 15, 16. I think there's a lot of blank game weeks coming up near them. I'm not sure double game weeks as well. So I would rather use a wild card nearer that time. Would be a more smarter move, if I dare say. How much do you think Havertz and Thiago Silva would be in FPL if they did move to Chelsea? Chelsea really building that team. They're really, really building that team, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I think definitely, like Jason was saying the other night, I do think they'll be title contenders, should I say. And they just need to... They signed Chilwell, and centre-backs wise, they do need to improve there, get another goalkeeper. I think the top 3 is going to be like Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. No particular order. Being a Liverpool fan. It depends how my team's going to do this season. Well, we do need to get another replacement centre-back, but Jurgen we trust. But I do feel the gap, is going to be completely different. It's going to be a lot smaller, from first to second this time. It's going to be so tight. It's going to be like it was in the 2018, like something like that, 2018-19 season. And I do feel the gap is going to be a lot more tighter this time. It's not going to be like the way we did it. We won it, was it 16 points or something like that? We did mess up a lot at the end in the project restart, but it's not going to be big like that. I don't think it's going to be something like probably 7 points, probably half that, half 16, half of round about there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that happens. And I do think Havertz and Silva in Chelsea's team is really going to make things interesting for Chelsea and get you Chelsea fans excited. How much do I think there'll be? I think Havertz will be, oh my god. I think Havertz will be 9 million. Was that too much or was that too less? Because I mean, Ziyech is 8 million, and I feel that's a bargain. Would you say 8.5 or 9 million for Havertz? What would you say? Thiago Silva, I have no idea. I know he's about 30, in his mid-30s now, isn't he? Thiago Silva. He's been going for a while, and he's, still a very good defender. Skulls, welcome to Skulls, how are you doing? Well, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, please subscribe, please hit the like button if you enjoyed it, we do appreciate. You should consider Spurs assets. I'm going to think about that. Son's the only one on my mind, mate. Bamford is like to score decent amount of late goals. True. John Tyner, hey Bengers, how you doing, mate? Hi John, how you doing, mate? And you have any stats on Matt Burnley? Sheffield United have some easily. So we can have a look at Matt Burnley. I'm not a fan of Mr. Matt Burnley. I'm a bit behind, guys. I'm a bit behind on the comments. I hope you don't mind waiting. Hope you don't mind. About probably 5 minutes behind all your comments and stuff. So this is Matt Burnley's stats from last season. This is for Javid, I think. Javid. He started 24. The thing is, isn't Callum Robertson, if he stays at Sheffield United next season, he played for West Brom, all right, for West Brom, he could be a starter, because I know that attack was the problem last season. It was mostly relying on the defence last season, as we know, Sheffield United. But as you can see, he got an average of 1.2 shots per game. I still wouldn't feel confident with him. I think maybe Callum Robinson will probably jump in. Can we have a look at Callum Robinson, guys? Because I do like the look at Callum, because he's still at Sheffield United. He's come back from his loan. They signed him last season, but they loaned him out that same season. This is what he got. That was the Premier League. Can we not look? Yeah, we can look at the Championship, because he was mostly at the Championship last season. So he started 10 games of 16 for West Brom last season. He got an average of 1.7 shots on goal. Goals per game, not great, 0.2. He scored every 287 minutes, but he only got 3 goals and 2 assists, so it's not particularly great, like I said. He didn't particularly do that well, but he only played a certain number of games as well, and only probably just came on for about 10 of them from the bench. So it depends how Sheffield United are going to have had the 5 at the back, and then have the 3 in midfield, and then have the 2 strikers up front. So it's going to be interesting. Do you think Arsenal defence is to build on? Tierney, Saliba, Gabriel. That's the other player who they're about to sign from Lille. 22 million. Nothing confirmed just yet, but he's having a medical and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see that's going to be the probable back line. Who I was going to play at right back. Probably Bellerin. But I do feel those 2, Saliba and Gabriel, will probably be the new centre-back partnership for Arsenal next season. Anderson, Bruno, Salah. Who do you think would finish with the highest point total? Highest point total. If we look last season, just quickly as well, which will be interesting. So last season, highest point total. Kevin De Bruyne in there as well. Kevin De Bruyne, who actually won? It was definitely Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, so Kevin De Bruyne got the most total points out of everyone last season. You know what? it's going to be between Salah or Kevin De Bruyne. I feel Salah's going to really go for it this season. I'm going to actually tip him to probably get the golden boot. Who knows? I don't know why. I just feel he's that good of a player. I think, well, he got 19 goals, and Vardy won it by 23, so only 4 behind, something like that. So 4 goals, he finished behind top scorer Vardy. I think Salah, I think Salah could win it. I think could win the goal. But if we're talking about points, like I said, Anderson, I think it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne. I think the way City are pushing it again, I think Kevin De Bruyne will probably get the most points again. Do you think Sheffield United will have a second season syndrome? I think Sheffield United, if I dare say, I think the signing of Ramsdale, replacement of Dean Henderson, is key. I think that is really good for them, and I think he picked some good save points for Bournemouth, and I think he's a decent goalkeeper. You know, I wish it was 4.5 instead of 5 million, but I do like Ramsdale, but I don't think Sheffield United will finish as high as they did last season, and I say that now. I think somewhere in the bottom half of the table, if I dare say. I think they'll fall. I don't think they'll be relegated, but I think they'll finish in the bottom half of the table, probably mid-table somewhere, a bit more lower than they finished last season. I agree with you. Wildcard should not be used early. You have to build your team to avoid early use of wildcard. Exactly. That's some skulls. Will Havertz remove or add to Ziyech potential? Well, we're playing with him. We talk about overshadowing a player. They're both class players. Now, Havertz is playing a more competitive league and, a more stronger league in the Bundesliga. But I just feel, how are they going to set out their team if they sign Havertz? Are they going to set out with Ziyech, Werner, and Havertz? Or are they going to have Havertz just behind in an attacking role, in a cam role? Who knows? I mean, where are they going to put Pulisic? Are they going to have Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech up front? Maybe Ziyech in behind, feeding Werner? Who knows? Just behind Werner? Who knows? It's very exciting to be a Chelsea fan, thinking of all this, if you're a Chelsea fan. What do you think the best formation? I don't know, but I think the best formation is 5-man midfield. I think a lot of the points, if my fingers crossed, if I dare say, are coming from midfield. If you have like 4 premium, at least 4 premium defenders from like the top 6 teams, I feel a 5-man midfield for the season is the way to go. I feel like it's always there, the points. How to get Man United and City players, I have no idea. It's going to be one hell of a push, this. I mean, we've got another 3 weeks, which is great. It's not like the deadline's next week or in 5 days' time. But it's going to be interesting to see how I get this team here. Because the way I want to do it, I want to go into game week 1 with a 50-man squad with no City or United players in that team. So I basically want to have some money left in the bank or have a cheap enough player, then I can upgrade to Bruno or Greenwood or Martial. I only plan to have one attacking United asset. I would like a defender. In for the Man United games. Ahead. Martial matters, but Ziyech is likely to play on the right wing. He is. It's much of a free roam player, Ziyech. He's one of those players who's a free roam player. He's just so good. Like, if I bring him up on the screen for you guys, so you get a bit more of an idea of what he is like or capable of. Have a look in the different field game to Premier League. Shots per game 3.2 in his league last season. Goals per game, not particularly goals, but he got an assist. You look at the assists, goals in that league, 6 goals and 12 assists last season. And if we look in the Champions League as well, if we have a good look in the Champions League, stats-wise, you can see he takes corners. By looks of it, look at the heat map, he takes corners. That's a plus start. Does he take corners and free kicks? If somebody can confirm that to me, that'd be great. I think he could be taking corners and free kicks for Chelsea next season. So that's another plus as well. Like I talked about with Pereira, if you have a player like that who is very good, very exciting to watch, attacker, and they're taking corners and free kicks as well, it's like having Trent. When you have Trent, he takes corners, he takes free kicks, but it's a bonus, isn't it, when you have a player like that? So that's Ziyech for you. I want to just give you an idea on Pereira because I want to try and convince people how good of a player is it Matthias Pereira is. It's obviously a different field game, but you can see on the heat map he takes corners in the corners there, and he does take free kicks. He's mostly the number one set piece taker along with Matty Phillips. You can see the stats down here as well. Started 38 of 42 games. This is Pereira, and just 1.9 shots per game, just better than Grzycki and Phillips. 0.2 goals in games, 8 goals and 16 assists. Somebody else got 20 assists from somewhere when I looked on Instagram, but I don't know where he got that from. But it's either 16 or 20, who knows? But he's a very good player. He's a very good player, Pereira, and I think I'd rather have him over Mitrovic. I think he's one of them players who offers a lot, and I think if West Brom build a bit more, I think it's even more better to have him. More exciting to have someone like Pereira in your team. But to have someone who takes corners and free kicks, and for $6 million, I feel that's a bargain for him. $6 million. I mean, I feel his price is going to rocket during the season, and I really do like the lad. I really do like him. Ant, how you doing? How's it going, Penguin? I'm doing well, mate. A bit behind on the comments. I'm trying to get through them all, but hope you're doing well. Mitrovic or Adams? Now, can we talk about Adams? We want to talk about Adams now. You can see I've got on my team. He's 2.5 million cheaper than Mr. Danny Ings, Lord of the Ings, who I had the pleasure of meeting a few years ago. I met him, Danny Ings, when he was currently injured in his last season for Burnley before he joined Liverpool. Really nice guy. He was about 23 when I met him. 23 years old. But yeah, with Che Adams, he's got a good alternative. I mean, he mostly scored all his goals, his 4 goals in Project Restart. He got 4 assists as well. But if we have a look at, I think we've talked about him, haven't we? Che Adams. But we can have a look at him again, if you want. Che Adams is a good alternative, but the thing is, I'm worried if someone like Shea Long or Abafemi are going to start instead of him. But as you can see, shots per game 0.7, goals per game 0.1. He really did push him up, especially in these last 2 games. Scoring a goal against Bournemouth away. He had, as you can see, 2 shots on target. I don't know if that's properly appearing on the screen. Depends how I've set this out. But I'll let you know anyway. 3-1 against Sheffield United. He got 2 goals against there as well. And he just seems a good player to have. I think he could really improve. It was Ant who talked about him the other week. I think last week when I did a stream. And he's one of those players who could be a good differential to have. But if I had to choose, I'd rather have Danny Ings. But I feel 8.5. I'm struggling to get to make this team good for me. Well, he's good, but I'm not happy with it. Like Che Adams, I've got on my team, and as I said, it's still going to change this team. But it's just one of them that's going to keep changing and changing and changing. But I'm not saying Adams isn't going to be not a good differential. He's going to be a good differential if he does start the games. And I feel with Palace's injuries as well, they could really go at Palace this season in game week 1. Ziyech going to play on the right wing and Pulisic on the left. Yeah, that's how I imagine it as well, Colton. Left and right, and then Werner in the middle. I think that's going to be one hell of a deadly attack, that. It's going to be deadly, that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing. Really appreciate it. And please do hit the like button as well. Please like the video and please share the stream. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Is Reece James a good option? The thing is, he was losing a lot of game time. I'm sure he was. Lights of Azpilicueta was starting stuff, and I wouldn't risk having Reece James. I don't know if Lamps is gonna, because he likes these young lads and giving them more opportunities. I thought he was in Project Restart, but I think Reece James is a bit of a bold. It's pushing it a bit. I really do think that. Do you think it's better to spread out the funds for mid prices like Ziyech, Greenwood, etc., or getting 2 or 3 premium players plus fillers like Soucek, St. Maximum, Armstrong? See, those three players you just mentioned there, Soucek, St. Max, and Armstrong, I think they're going to be good differentials to have. I see a lot of people opting for Armstrong over Danny Ings. I feel, he was doing all right in Project Restart as well. I'm sure Stuart Armstrong, he says Scott Armstrong. Stuart Armstrong. And I feel he could be a good differential to have over, if I dare say, if you can't afford someone like Danny Ings, and you're not so sure about someone like Che Adams who's not starting as much, maybe opt for Armstrong. I mean, Armstrong started a few games on the bench as well, so he's a bit of a rotation risk as well, but I imagine him probably a bit more of a safer choice. But I think you do need to have either a Greenwood or Ziyech, like you mentioned, like you just said. So you can't really rule out. I think Ziyech is going to have a really good. I think Chelsea are going to have a fantastic season. I think with the attack wise, I think they're going to absolutely just go at teams. I really do think so. And Pulisic, Werner, Ziyech front three, and Havertz will play attacking midfielder. Okay, so it's going to be like a 4-3-3, but then having those 2 centre midfielders, and then you have Havertz in that cam role, which is more imaginable, probably more realistic to think of. Again, just a bit behind, hope you don't mind, probably about 5 minutes behind comments. And Ziyech or Havertz on free kicks. If Havertz does sign, it's going to be competition. But I'll tell you, Ziyech, you've got to have Ziyech. He's free kicks and corners, guys. You've got to have Ziyech in team. You've got to build this team with bonus-wise of players who take corners and free kicks. It's win-win right there. You know what I mean? You've got more chance they're going to get more returns. Your return. Salah, KDB, Bruno in game week 3. What about Greenwood? That's nice. That's a nice midfield. I just feel Bruno's a bit pushing it a bit with 10.5. I'm a bit gutted he's 10.5. I thought it was decent, but then now I don't think it's as great. I don't know. Mr. Bruno Penalty Fernandes. I'm a big fan of him, by the way. I like him. I liked him when he was at Sporting Lisbon. I think it was Sporting Lisbon he was out. I think it was. I'm not really sure. But I've been following. I think he's a really good player who would take long free kicks as well, and some short ones, I think. Greenwood would be a good pick. I think if they don't sign Sancho, Greenwood would be a good choice to have. I feel he would be, he's cheaper than Bruno. He's a regular starter if they don't sign Sancho, and he's cheaper than Rashford, who's 9.5. I still think is overpriced at 9.5. Rashford. And Martial at 9 million. I think Greenwood would be the best one, the good cheap budget one to have, because he was at 10 goals and 1 assist last season for Greenwood, and he looks like he's becoming a regular face in the starting lineup, and I really do think he is a good one to have, and I am opting to probably have him ready for the start of United's fixtures. Why do you play Braithwaite? Branthwaite, because he's just a bench fodder. He's just somebody who just sit at the moment. It's just because I've spent all my money, 100 million, and I'm trying to get. I can imagine everyone's bench not being great. I can imagine everyone's benches. I'm seeing a lot of draft teams where people's benches aren't, like myself, aren't particularly great, because we're trying to get all these great. Because now Aubameyang's a midfielder, and we're taking our chances with Timo Werner as well. So it's one of them. It's going to change, but it's going to be interesting. My defence is poor. The thing is, my defence compared to last season's Game Week 1 team, I had Digne, Trent, Van Dijk, Zinchenko in my team, Patricio as my goalkeeper in Game Week 1 last season, and they did very well for me. I got about 87 points in total for that Game Week 1 team last season, and the defence did very well, despite Liverpool conceding to Norwich. I think Van Dijk scored, so that cheered me up a bit. What was my rank last season? My position in the table was 300k, around about 300k. I beat the season before's position. I was 750k. That was in 2018-2019 season. But this season, the season that's just gone, finished about 300k. I used my chips too early, and that's the problem. And I'm really want to buckle down and really just not see all these polls, shall we say, that go out, or try not to do polls myself, because it's like the mind games. It's like, oh, who's everyone going for? It's like what Lama said, go with your gut, or it's your gut feeling. You got, and that's why I'm using SofaScore to help me. I'm not sponsored. I'm just saying, like, I recommend using SofaScore, guys, because I feel it could really help you out a lot. It could really help you out a lot. And I heard as well that the too good FPL guy, he used SofaScore as well. He told us he used, he said it was SofaScore. So that's why I got more into SofaScore, and it's really good with the heat maps. I really do enjoy it. FPL Magicians, how you doing? A bit behind. Mitrovic and Che Adams, but I'm just not sure about the Arsenal fixture. Optimus Prime, haven't heard it from. Wow, how you doing, mate? And it's been a while, and hope you're doing well. Chill's a good pick for Chelsea. Loving the Adams pick. Nathan, how you doing, mate? I'm gonna rush through these because I'm well behind, bro. If you can't stretch to wings, yeah, that's the thing. If you can't stretch your. I know you're probably going from as well, Nathan, aren't you? Che Adams. Will an 8.5 Jimenez or Ings Mitro be enough with a loaded midfield, possibly Werner, Martial, Mitro? Oof. I like the look of Jimenez. I think Wolves once again are going to attack like crazy, but I feel Werner Martial is better. I think Werner Martial for the next 12 game weeks, whenever or to the end of this year, I think it's great. I think that's a good partnership to have, Werner and Martial. I think United's fixture, I think Martial's really going to go for it. Spurs players is a bad idea. Well, we were talking about Son, but I'm still thinking about it. But I spent on my budget. I would like Son over Willian, obviously. So, is he a good pick? I don't know if he's going to start. Spurs new signing. Is it going to be like a CDM? I think he's going to start, but I don't know. I mean, Spurs were playing like a 4-4-2 against Ipswich in the friendly yesterday. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think Willian could be a good pick. I really do think if he does get the games and starts, I do feel, because he offered quite a bit to Chelsea. He was very good for Chelsea, and it's a punt move, but it's quite expensive being 8 million. At least it's not like 9.5 million or something like last season for Pepe. But I think he could be a good player, Willian, for Arsenal. But I will have a good think about it. I really will. 3 players from Southampton without Ings is too much. Chelsea no need 2 players, 1 and wait and see. That's the thing. It's best to just have 1 and just weigh it all out. I mean, if you have 2, too expensive. A 9.5 and an 8 million. It is pushing it. You're right. It is pushed Optimus Prime. It is. Tottenham have amazing fixtures, but it's Tottenham. I mean, they either turn up or they don't turn up. People talking about Dyer. Well, defensive wise, is he going to start? That's the thing. Is Dyer going to start? I know Vertonghen left, but will they be giving players like Foyth or Tanganga more chances as well? Depends how they set out the team. I do like Aurier 5.5. He's still linked with AC Milan. Uh, do you think it's better to have a good bench or leave that money in the bank? It's, it's good. I think I would probably leave that money in the bank. Then you've got some spare, and then if you want to bring in a Manchester United player like Martial or Greenwood, then you can like upgrade whoever you've got. I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm probably gonna get to the point where I'm gonna upgrade someone like Bamford. I don't know. Well, Che Adams. Che Adams, should we say? I don't know. That's the thing. I'm struggling to try and fit in a Manchester United asset in this team. Like how I'm going to get one in for game week 2, because I had Lindelof in, and I feel because he's 0.5 cheaper than Wan-Bissaka. Now Wan-Bissaka's going to get the attack returns. I've only got 4 assists, but I feel United decent wise with fixtures. I don't know how many they conceded, because it depends now. I would feel confident with United defender if Dean Henderson's starting in goal. Because if you look at Palace at home, Brighton away, now Spurs at home is going to be tough, and then Chelsea at home as well. But I do feel I'm thinking about probably taking a punt if I did say on a United defender. But at this moment of time, I'd rather go for a United attacker. I'd rather go for a Manchester United attacker in my team, like Greenwood or Martial. So it's going to be interesting. So I probably might opt for Greenwood. He's that good differential, and he's about 3 million cheaper than Bruno. He's about 1.5 million cheaper than Martial. So it just depends how I would get someone like, if I had to practice now, because Willian's there. If I want to save money, it would be the best thing to do is to downgrade somebody, save that money going into game week 1. That would probably be the best pick. So I just feel the thing is, I will probably need to downgrade. Yeah, it's like what Optimus Prime said. Do I really need to go heavy or go double Chelsea attack? I mean, is anyone else here going with double Chelsea attack? Is anyone here going just with the one Chelsea attacker? That's the thing. Son does have better fixtures. He does have better fixtures, but Spurs do put me off. I mean, it's Spurs at the end of the day. And if I had to choose over Son and Kane, I'd rather have Son over Kane. Not because of price. I just feel Son offers a lot more. And I don't know who takes the free kicks and corners for Spurs. But if you can let me know who takes the free kicks and corners for Spurs, do let me know. I probably not a fan with Pepe. Not a fan of Pepe one bit. No, not a fan of him. He was so overpriced last season. It was crazy. And I feel if I go for, I'd rather team with Werner. If I had to choose, I'd team with Werner over Ziyech. That saves me then. Could I then bring in... So then, yeah, okay. So if I were to do... Yeah, okay. I think 7.5. It's gonna be. So you see there, Greenwood 7.5. Could I have a look at? See how I could actually do this. I could just keep this team as it is. Keep the double Chelsea attack, and go into that Brighton game, and have those two players, and then probably get rid of Ziyech, because Chelsea play at Liverpool. Now, fair enough to score 3 goals against us, but a game that was 5-3. I think I'd go for Greenwood for Ziyech for game week 2. And then I think I'll probably do that. So I think I probably will leave this team, take a punt at this very moment with Ziyech and Werner going into that. Do I think Aurier is good and offers good attacking potential? I do think he's good. I feel was it 1 goal and 7 assists last season. He's a very, very good attacking fullback. He really goes right up that field, and it depends how Spurs are really going to approach the start of the season. I mean, last time they played at Everton last season, was it 1-0 at Spurs last season? I mean, is it going to be a more tighter affair? Is it going to be a more tighter game? Are these friendlies a bit of a throw-off? Are they, to teasers like that? I mean, Everton drawing 3-3 with the first team with Blackpool, and then, I mean, no offence to Ipswich, but it's, playing against a League One Ipswich and you basically got a first team out Spurs, 3-0. I mean, I think it's a bit of I need to see more friendlies. I know Spurs and Everton have got more friendlies. Spurs have got more friendlies. And Liverpool playing today as well, I think against Salzburg, Minamino's former club. So I will have probably a more look into it and see get my ideas across more. I think you should Salah or Uber balance would be better. And who else is get off Uber? See, I know a lot of people are going for Uber. That's the thing. And 22 goals, 5 assists. But is it a bit of a troll move, guys? What do you think? Are you jumping on the Aubameyang train, or are you a bit put off? Or because what about Lacazette? Do you think Lacazette will start? Many games this season? Let me know. It would help, but I just think when I showed you earlier in the video how bad of Fulham's defence is at this very moment of time, I just feel they're going to be that team where they're going to be conceding a lot of goals, Fulham, if they don't improve that defence. What City players are you thinking of getting in? De Bruyne or Sterling and maybe Foden? I'm just thinking at this very moment, the only City player that's on my mind is Kevin De Bruyne. That's the only City player that's on my mind. And I feel, it's a no-brainer with Kevin De Bruyne. You know how good he is. He's magical to watch. And I feel, I'm just glad he's not like 12 or 12.5 million. That's pushing it a bit. But 11.5, still expensive. I knew they'd push it up a lot more this season. But I plan to bring him in for Aubameyang. In game week 3. Game week 2, I'm not rushing in to get Kevin De Bruyne. But game week 3, I plan to get Mr. Kevin in. Kevin De Bruyne. And they've got Leicester at home. So that's going to be an interesting affair right there. And they've got Leeds. That's going to be interesting as well. Leeds away. So that's going to be interesting as well, especially with Leeds' defence. If it's going to be the same as it is, and see how they do against Liverpool, City and Kevin De Bruyne could really go at that Leeds defence if Leeds aren't careful. And Dominic, say, how you doing, mate? How you doing? So I'm a Spurs fan, and who was the first name in my team? Yeah, Uber's one of them players. That I think he's going to do well again. I think I'd like to keep him for the first 2 game weeks. I think Fulham, West Ham seem nice fixtures for him, and I feel the way they're building with the likes of Willian, and they're building that defence a lot more now. I'm expecting not too much bigger things for Arsenal, but I think they'll do better than they did last season. I think they'll do a lot more better than the last season, like position-wise, because their defence really let them down. They really likes David Luiz and stuff. But I was quite impressed with the form near the end of the season. With being winning the FA Cup. The kings of the FA Cup, aren't they, Arsenal? And beating Chelsea and Man City. And Aubameyang looked sharp as well. So I think having Aubameyang would be great. Bamford is just one of those players. Kane takes close free kicks, I think. Why do I have Pereira and Bamford? Because Pereira is class, and Bamford, just one of those players that I feel could be a good differential, especially if Leeds try and build around him as well. I'm a Spurs fan, and I have never allowed myself to have any Arsenal players. Aubameyang is so tempting, and I just can't. Wow. Yeah, I was a bit like that when with some Man United players. When I first started playing this game, I was a bit like that with Man United players. But I thought to myself, you need to really, it's a game at the end of the day. It's not like But I know what you mean, Dominic. I know what you mean. Gravy Dave, how you doing? What do you think? Who do you think will start in goal for Arsenal? Leno or Martinez? Now, he did work very well. But Leno is back from injury, by the sounds of it. And I feel Leno could be back in goal. It all depends. That's the problem. I wouldn't risk... If Leno was still out injured for another 2 or 3 months, it'd be the other keeper. But I've got this feeling Leno it could return to the starting lineup. I've got this feeling. Don't let your bias cloud your judgment. No, if you're thinking Ziyech maximum minutes, yeah, people talk about maximum. I know how good of a player he is. He's got West Ham, he's got Brighton, but I'd rather have Ziyech. I think he's just so much a good player, and it's just one of those. I'd see what happens. I do the same with Spurs players. Lol. Don't like my early thoughts and strategy. Don't like Man United fixtures until game week 9. I will switch Aubameyang to Man City. So you don't like Man United fixtures until game week 9? That's interesting. You don't like. So who have they got in game week 9? Screen board. There he is. Until game week 9. Oh, they'd look nice. West Brom at home, Southampton away, West Ham away. The only ones that put me off are like Arsenal at home, Chelsea, probably Spurs. But I can see what you mean. But when you look at likes of Palace at home, Brighton away, it's a bit tempting, isn't it? It's a bit tempting to probably have that asset in. Yeah, it's 4 million, Dominic. Yeah, Mitchell's 4 million. The thing is, I don't know if he's going to start. I think Ferguson's got more chance of starting at right back than Mitchell at left back, because I think Van Holt is due to return soon. So that's going to be interesting. Right. Let's have a little mess around with the team. And guys, if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're doing all right. So I know I've been chatting, but probably giving advice and stuff, or you doing a bit of a Q&A. But yeah, I'll probably do the video like that. I'll probably change the title of the video to Q&A. But yeah, it's I know I've not really changed the team at all, but this is probably the team I'm 90% going for. Just probably question marks over Adams, Willian. I'm probably one of those Chelsea attackers. It would save money, and it would push through a move enough money to get like Greenwood in or something like that. But that's the team I'm going for. So yeah, so I really hope you did enjoy this video, guys. I'm gonna call it a stream. Also, if you want to join my league, I'll let you have the code right here, and this is the code right here, guys. You can join my league if you want to, and yeah, and I hope you enjoy this video, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Hit the like button, please share, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later.